All right, time for a charity spotlight. We got Bob Hughes here from the Ask Wellness Center, Executive Director. Bob, welcome. What is the Ask Wellness Center?
Well, the Ask Wellness Center stands for the AIDS Society of Kamloops.
Okay.
It's a non-profit organization, charitable organization in the community. We're located here on the North Shore as our primary office.
Right.
We have a number of buildings downtown that provide housing for many of the most marginalized people in the community.
Right.
That's a big part of what we do.
Yeah, AIDS Society, also you're, as I understand it, working hard to eliminate homelessness in the area. You've really got to cast a wide net for yourself, haven't you?
Well, we have. We've got, we're here in Kamloops. We're, as I say, we're on the South Shore, we're the North Shore. We have an office down in Merritt as well. We've really embarked on, in the last 4 years, we've embarked on this challenge to say, can we eradicate homelessness? And that involves not just our organization. It's a very challenging task that involves other nonprofits in the community. It involves the business sector.
Yeah.
It involves faith groups. And so we're just one part of that equation.
Yeah, no kidding. Bringing all those things together, working for a common cause, that's no small challenge. How's the battle going?
Well, I would argue that we've been very fortunate in that this community of Kamloops is one that really is all about partnership. It's about caring, compassion, and we see that from the business sector. We see it from faith groups, other nonprofits working together. We have a really strong city council and municipality. I would suggest that in our province, Kamloops is really leading the way in terms of making a dent in homelessness. It's one that it's kind of peaks and valleys in terms of success.
Right.
Probably our biggest issue right now is we've had a summer where tremendous amounts of people have come into the community and they want to call this home.
Right.
We've seen an economy that's been really impacted.
Yeah, I was going to go there.
Big time, Dean, where you know, like a year and a half ago, we were going, holy cow, we're seeing it day to day on the streets in terms of an improvement.
Yeah.
And I would say in the last year, we've gone, holy smokes, this is bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've embarked on. We also work with women in the sex trade. We have programs for women in the sex trade, people with HIV, hepatitis C, chronic illnesses. I mean, the benefit of being in a nonprofit, Dean, is that you respond with creative ideas and you take a run at it and see if it has an impact on your community, and that's the best part of the job.
I wanted to touch on the HIV, the AIDS stigma. I mean, when AIDS was first announced and it became this big problem, which has turned into, you know, there was this certain stigma about HIV and being HIV positive. How is the public mindset about AIDS, and are we getting better at understanding what this is?
I would suggest that there's been some dramatic changes in the understanding of HIV as a condition that people survive and live with now.
Right.
Okay. And people's fear of being in even physical proximity with somebody with HIV and contracting it.
Right.
I think there's been a tremendous amount of reality is set in for people that you just don't catch HIV that way. I mean, you engage H1N1, various other disorders much more rapidly than you would with HIV.
Right.
But there still is that stigma about it being a gay person's disease and a drug abuser's. And the reality is, HIV is now the highest rates of transmission are in the heterosexual, meaning men and women having sex between the ages of 18 and 30.
Right.
Okay. So that kind of stuff is starting to filter into the general population, but there's still days where people go, HIV, ooh, spooky. And you know, I think part of the testament to this community is that they're supporting an organization that works with people with HIV in a way where we have donations from faith groups, from people walking in off the street into our agency, and in this case,
they raised
to $1 million, saying, hey, we want to help these guys out.
Yeah, Team Nexus, their offices, or some of their offices, are located in this side of town, and while some other teams chose charities with, is it fair to say, perhaps more national recognition, you know, they said, we're going to keep it close to home. But that being said, there are organizations like yours around the world, in individual communities all over the place, and people in their own communities can make a difference. What's step number one? Where do we look? In the yellow pages? What do we do?
Well, I mean, interestingly, we are not a franchise.
Right.
We are a standalone organization.
Right. But there are similar.
Yeah, there's other organizations, HIV organizations, targeting and tackling their unique community needs.
Right.
And so in this case, it's a real huge admiration for Nexus to say we're going to take our guys next door that we think are doing a decent job, and we want to provide support to them. That's an honor.
Yeah, well, they're awfully excited about supporting the Ask Wellness Center, and I tell you, they got an awfully bright team down there. They've got a terrific on-screen persona. They're staying a little mysterious, but just some brilliant business individuals, and they're gonna put some jingle in your jeans by the end of this thing, you know.
Yeah, I met with them and I heard how serious they were taking this, and that's where I went, wow, this is awesome. What can we do to jump on board and really kind of do, I think, the connection, do the synergy between what their efforts are doing and what the impact is for us, and it'll be huge.
The Ask Wellness Center, Bob Hughes, a real pleasure to speak with you, man. Keep up fighting that good fight in the Kamloops area online.
Online, yeah, we are www.askwellness.ca, and you'll find us links to the various things that we're doing. We also have a street newspaper called Off the Curb. Off the Curb tells tales about people out on the street, and those who've really come from a different rags to riches, from the rags of the streets to the riches of being part of community. Right
on, and helping out their communities too. Wherever you're watching us today, why not reach out and make a difference in your community, just like hardworking folks like Bob Hughes and the rest of the Ask Wellness Center do right here in Kamloops each and every day. www.askwellness.com. www.askwellness.ca. Bob Hughes has been our guest from the Ask Wellness Center, the beneficiary of the hard-working Team Nexus right here on the Race to the Mill.